So early this morning, we got some sources from different Chinese message boards that a image has leaked online of what is potentially going to be one of the Generation Selects items that we will be getting in 2022. Now, back in mid-September, we had a huge list of a whole bunch of potential Generation Selects products. Some of them ended up becoming real, so chances are that entire list is legitimate. Part of that list, of course, was the Black Zarek that we were going to be getting, the lift ticket that we only saw not too long ago, and then a whole bunch of other stuff that was kind of ambiguous. One of them, of course, was a deluxe clampdown, pretty obvious to know what that is going to be. A deluxe DK3, which we speculated was probably the Diaclone blue repaint of the Trailbreaker mold, because if you go back in its history, it was a DK3 number designation. We had some kind of Cyclonus repaint. Some people are speculating it might be the Armada repaint, that extra Cyclonus, I guess, unit. And then we had a weird one, which, I mean, I guessed wrong. I was like, well, okay, it was called Deluxe Class Guard, and it was 24 per case, which indicated that it was indeed a deluxe. And I was like, oh, maybe it's a, color accurate repaint of the Quintesson Guard. That's what I thought, But it seems what they're going to be going with instead is, judging by this leaked image online, that it's going to be a black repaint of the deluxe class Ironhide figure that we've gotten thus far through Earthrise and was at one point a Amazon exclusive. Now, the black repaint version, its history dates back to the origin of the Ironhide character in its Diaclone origins. And that starts with, literally because you had LP, 500 was Sunstreaker, the very first Diaclone figure, and that was number 1. And number 2 was the one-box Cherry Vanet, the 1982 van. And it came in black. That was the origin of that Ironhide mold. Of course, it would be turned red. In the 1984, we'd have the Ironhide character we know today. And then in 2008, Ehobby, kind of also going off of the success of the Michael Bay movies and Ironhide being a black truck, they thought, well, good timing. We'll do an Ehobby exclusive called Ironhide Protect Black. And it's a double homage. It's black because of how he looks in the movies, but it's also black because of how the original mold was back in those 1982 Diaclone days. So, after that long-winded explanation, it looks like we're going to be getting this in that color scheme. The image that leaked online initially was covered with a whole bunch of terrible words, but that's just how terrible some of the fandom is. But the good part of the fandom then cleaned it up, did some mock-ups to give us a better idea of what it potentially could look like, and these are the images that we have today. So thank you to the fans and their hard work. Now, this is pretty cool. Again, it looks like we're really going to be having a huge Diaclone flavor with Generation Selects moving into 2022, just based on what we've seen with the DK3, with the lift ticket and the clampdown, all stuff based off of stuff from that 1982 Diaclone Origins that then has been, retroactively turned into Generation 1 characters today. So I guess calling it Guard and, the Ehobby version being called Protect Black, I guess, sure. It's an interesting different way to kind of refresh the idea. I don't know if that'll be the final trademark name, but that's what they're going to go with. Sure, why not? Lift ticket, obviously, like, the one that we talked about before, takes its origins from G.I. Joe and stuff, so maybe there's something that I'm missing from some of the other trademarks that Hasbro has. But again, nothing's final. We'll definitely learn more about it as it comes. All we have is this kind of misassembled robot mode image online, and then, of course, the mock-up that the fans put together to kind of make more sense of everything that we're looking at here right now. Pretty cool stuff otherwise. I kind of dig we're getting some of those Diaclone color schemes. It gives people who don't want to spend the big capital to own those original toys in those original color schemes to give them a modern interpretation of those old color schemes and not have to break the bank over it. Pretty awesome. Hopefully we'll get some more information on this in the future and maybe a finally public release from Hasbro when this goes live for pre-order on Hasbro Pulse for their future Generation Selects line, which will obviously have a unique box for it in the new unique box style that they've been touting since we saw Lift Ticket and Black Zarek. Aside from that, today's Saturday. So that means tonight we're going to have a Saturday night live stream for the Transformer Slag podcast. So be sure to swing by. We're going to reiterate the news that we had this week, and we had a lot of busy stuff that we had to talk about this week, as well as take a bunch of super chats from the fans and just kick back and enjoy. It's also LA Comic-Con this weekend, so we're going to also talk about a few of the stuff that's happening from there, and just relax and talk Transformers. So I hope to see you there, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 5 o'clock Pacific. This is all in the PMs, and I hope to see you soon.